Has there ever been that one video game you played as a child, probably on your handheld, whenever you went on your parents' shopping trips and you're forced to go and you're bored out of your mind? Well, this is my particular game. Welcome to Let's Play Pokemon Trading Card Game, aka Project Duelists. Man, this game brings back so many good memories, and I really hope that the emulator doesn't really lag as it did in Link's Awakening, because I'm using a new emulator a different emulator this time, so hopefully it works better than VBA. How majestic, yeah! Anyway, so let's get away from the intro, and let's start a new game. Oh, I can only have 6 characters? Let's just call myself Mayo. Okay, so I have no idea why I called myself Milo in my Pokemon Let's Plays, considering that's not my name at all. I don't know, I just tried to pass off as some sort of guy named Milo, but whatever.
Milo is crazy about Pokemon and Pokemon card collecting.
Except he has no Pokemon.
One day, Milo heard a rumor.
The legendary Pokemon cards, the extremely rare and powerful cards held by Pokemon trading card game's greatest players. The Grandmasters are searching for one to inherit the legend. Oh, how mystifying. Dreaming of inheriting the legendary Pokemon cards, Mayo versus the Pokemon card researcher, Dr. Mason. A researcher. Let's see, a professor named after a certain type of tree. Where have we seen that before? Huh. And let's see, visiting a professor. But yeah, man, this song brings back so many good memories. Like I said, this game brings back so many good memories. This is like my childhood game. I remember when I first got it after I was going to a birthday party camping trip for my friend, and you know, it's kind of funny because we were all Pokemon fans except, so first birthday, he got Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red, some Pokemon toys, and this game. And I have to say, of all of the presents he received, this was the most interesting one. So naturally I was like, I want this game, I want it, and I was all like being bitchy to my parents. Anyway, so oh, it is? Of course, dueling is more fun than just collecting cards. After all, you get to save the world! And, you know, banish people into the Shadow Realm with, you know, card games. Children cards games. By the way, I'm going to try to refrain from making Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged references, because it's so obvious. Ooh, a practice deck. Nice! Hey Sam, play with him for a while.
Sure thing, man. Hello, Milo. Okay, let's give it a try.
And so here's a pretty required, obligatory tutorial thing. Hey, don't tell me what to do. I can walk there on my own pace. Don't boss me around, dick.
Okay, Maya, what do you want to ask about?
Absolutely nothing. Because you're gonna... Basically, the rules are pretty self-explanatory. That, or I'm just gonna show them all to you in this tutorial, or whatever. Yes, I mean, actions do speak louder than words. I mean, my philosophy is less text, more action. Now, this is going to be a very different tutorial battle because, you know, we're going to be just handheld the whole time. But it's a nice introduction to the game because, honestly, one thing I like about this video game is that it follows the rules of the real trading card game really well. So it's kind of funny because I collected those, you know, Pokemon trading cards a lot, but I barely played games with them. I just merely collected them and traded them and made some very terrible trades back in my day. For example, I had a holographic Gyarados card, and guess what? I traded it to my friend for a frickin' Onix. That is a frickin' terrible trade. Like, how was I so stupid in making that trade, huh? And I was all like to my friend, hey, give me back my Gyarados, I want my Gyarados back. And he's like, no, I'll wait, just wait a moment, you know, just wait a few more days, I'll get you something else. And he never gave me back my Gyarados. That dick. Anyway, so, standard procedure, we draw 7 cards.
So it's just like Duel Monsters.
No, it's not like Duel Monsters. I mean, this Pokemon trading card game, this game came before Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading cards. did. What? Yeah, I don't know what I just said. So you're kind of required to use Goldeen. I mean, yeah, he's being a complete dick and being like, you can't decide for yourself. You have to use Goldeen. Well, fine. So we draw 7 cards, and if you have basic Pokemon in our deck, then we have to like place them onto our bench. And the first Pokemon we place onto the bench is the one you're going to use first. And then there's like a whole bunch of others, you know, waiting in reserve. Self-explanatory. Yeah. Okay, shut up, Dr. Mason. Can you please talk faster? Of course, next time, once I have access to my options, I'll, you know, speed the text up. So yeah. So basically, just unleash Pokemon onto your bench until you're finished. And then bam! Time to play the game. Now these prizes are like life points.
So it's just like Duel Monsters.
So yeah. But here's an interesting thing about this game. It's determined by luck. And that can be good, but most of the time, that's going to be very terrible. Luck is going to work against your favor. Luckily, since this is a tutorial battle, you'll always get heads here. In fact, every single turn is dictated by, you know, what's dictated. Oh my god. More tutorial crap. Oh wow, they're actually giving us instructions too. Jeez, man. But yeah, here's the thing about these Pokemon cards. They cannot attack unless they have energy cards. And the number of energy cards they need depends on, like, you know, what attack they need to use, as you'll see. Okay, yes, thank you, let's play the game. So let's see what these do. Oh, nice, it's a full heal, I can't speak words, full heal, like in Pokemon. And here's a Sea King, ooh. This is a pretty important point. You cannot evolve a Pokemon as soon as it's placed, so you can't be cheap like that. Let's just place a wider energy here. Yay, slow moving text. And here we have a Machop. I think it's, yeah. If you press B and up, you can you know, check your opponent's bench. And I have to say, I think Machop was one of the first cards I ever got. So let me tell you this: my very first exposure to Pokemon was like this video they sent out to kids, being like, "Hey kids, guess what? There's a new thing called Pokemon." And then later on, I got these Pokemon cards. So, in other words, I'm saying that I got trading cards before I got the Pokemon games. So, you can say that, you know, these trading cards are my very first experience with Pokemon. This is before I got any game at all. So, obviously this is pretty cool, learning about what, you know, a Machop is, learning about what a Goldeen is. Yeah, that's true. So, as you see, all Pokemon have a certain number of hit points. And, you know, Pokemon are just gonna chip away at your hit points. And I guess Dr. Mason is being all like, hey, you know, evolve your Goldeen so that it can, you know. Yes, and basically, oh no. So he wants us to use Sea King, which has more HP, so we can survive Machop's, you know, low kick more. Also, he says to use Waterfall. As you notice, Waterfall requires a water energy and a normal energy. I mean, a colorless energy. Normal is called colorless here. I don't know why. So I was like, I was always led to believe that the normal type was colorless. You know, because I played this first. Yay, evolution! And here's another thing. A normalless energy card equals any type of energy card. Like, any energy can be a normal energy. But yes, enough tutorial crap. Let's have it. Let's use Waterfall. And it's pretty actually, no. Sea King does know Waterfall in the first generation games. I was just about to say, oh my god, it's a move they, you know, used before the Pokemon games. Ermagerd! Yay, more slowly moving text. That is awesome. I can't wait to access my options so that I... Shut up, Dr. Mason. That is true, Dr. Mason. Please. Please, son. Oh yeah, right. We have a Staryu as well. Now here's the thing about energy cards. Obviously, you can only attach one per turn. So, yeah. That is that. Man, I think... Okay, but speaking of cards I had back when I was a kid, like the first Pokemon cards I had, I think... Let's press B down to check our deck. I mean bench, not deck. I think Staryu was surely one of the first Pokemon cards I received, which is pretty nice. Man, I remember the Staryu card. And here's one other question. Do you guys remember the smell of cards as soon as you take them out of the booster pack? Because it's so bad, but good. That it's so good. So these are like, prizes. Yay. You point. So there's 3 ways to win a Pokemon trading card game. Get all of the cards in your prizes. Oh shit, it's Eradicate. No! But yeah. Another way to win is to knock out all of their Pokemon so that they have no Pokemon in the bench. Or the third way to win is, if your opponent, draws all of the cards in their deck and they cannot draw any more cards, then they lose. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. So there are 3 ways to win a trading card game. So keep that in mind as we go through this Let's Play. Ew, it's a drowsy. Oh no! I mean, that's kind of what I just said. If there's no Pokemon at all on your bench, then you lose, because then it's like, Mayo white it out! And then he just ends up at a Pokemon Center or something. Yay! That is true, because Drowsy can be prepared for, attacking, because it only requires a normal, it's not normal, it's colorless. Jeez. Now, what did he say to do again? I forgot. Oh yeah, water energy. Yay! Drowsy, yay, now Drowsy is prepared to use Pound. Wow, Pound. Pound it, son! Yeah! Now here's an interesting thing about Eradicate. It is resistant to Psychic types. It's kind of referring to how normal Pokemon in the actual games are resistant to Ghosts, except Ghosts are the same thing as Psychic in this game. So, needless to say, even though this is my first exposure to Pokemon, it's pretty confusing how a bunch of types were grouped together. Like Grass, Poison, and Bug are all Grass Pokemon, for example. Rock, Ground, and Fighting are all Fighting type. Yeah, so that really screws with my perception of Pokemon types. So Eradicate is a complete douchebag and kills my Seeking. How dare you, son! We shall all have a moment of silence for the Seeking. Anyway, so that was Seeking. Yay! More tutorial text. Shut up, Dr. Mason. Now, because Eradicate has a resistance to Psychic Pokemon, if you're resistant, it means that they will receive 30 less damage than, what's supposed to be given. So let's say a Psychic Pokemon uses a move that, is supposed to give 50 damage. Instead, they receive 20 damage. So using Drowsy means you're being an idiot. You cannot do shit against that Eradicate. So let's use Staryu instead. Yay, Staryu! Oh my god. Wait, do you even have a Starmie in her hand? I'm gonna have to go check as soon as Dr. Mason stops talking. Stop talking and die! Okay, so we don't have a Staryu. But I guess we can attach some water energies just in case, Starmie might require more water energies. Because surely it seems like Dr. Mason is, relying on us to draw a Starmie. Like Mayo, you must draw a Starmie at the exact moment. Like, come on. That never happens. You never draw the exact card you need at the exact right moment. This isn't Yu-Gi-Oh! Jeez. There's like this one Yu-Gi-Oh! Episode where I think Yugi draws the exact card he needs at the right moment, because otherwise he was being screwed over because he was playing like shit. So it was really stupid how Deus Ex Machina just, went all up in their asses. Like, you must draw the perfect card and be all dramatic about drawing the card, and then we're gonna have a commercial break. And once the commercial break stops, then he's he's still drawing the card. Oh no, we have a Seeking. We're screwed. Except we have a potion, so that's nice. Shut up, Dr. Mason. We don't have a Starmie, Dr. Mason. This is reality. Jeez. But yes, let's just potion up our Staryu because Dr. Mason is being all like, you must do exactly as I say. You have no free will. You will bow down to me because I am your god. Or something like that. Anyway. This is a very classic song that I love to hear. And I think that Staryu might be screwed because Machop only needs to do one more low kick, whereas we need to do 2 slaps, unless we drew Stormy at the exact moment we needed. Oh my god. I'm being so retarded, aren't I? Jeez, I'm like being so overdramatic too. Okay, shut up, Dr. Mason. Yes, let me use Star Freeze. Unfortunately, Star Freeze is not a real attack in the Pokemon games. And like as you'll see, there's a whole bunch of bullshit attacks that these Pokemon have that the Pokemon don't have in the actual games. So let's forget about that and use Stormy to destroy. Because Stormy is a sweeper in the games. Now paralysis and status ailments, we'll get into that later on because, well, that's inapplicable here because actually no, that is applicable here because now Machop is paralyzed, which means he cannot do shit for a whole turn. Not even retreat. I guess we'll get into retreat later on, but that's kind of what Sam did with Raticate and Machop. Because most cards have retreat costs, so that... Dr. Mason, shut up, man. Jeez, you give tutorials a bad name. Like, yeah, I get it, Anyway, so, as you see, Pokemon have retreat costs, meaning you need to take away 1 energy card, or like, retreat cost means the number of energy cards you need to remove in order to remove a Pokemon and put it back into your bench and recall somebody else, because that's, basically the point is, you don't want your Pokemon to be knocked out, because that means they can draw more cards from the prizes, which is a bad thing, so whatever you do not let your Pokemon die. It's like the same as losing life points, but whatever, let's just Star Freeze. And let me tell you this, because this is a tutorial battle, luck is always on our side. That is not going to be the case in the real game. In the real game, luck is going to be a complete dick. Anyway, so, since we took all the prizes, we win! Yes! Man, what is it with everybody, shuffling their feet? It's like they're all having a dance party or something.
Shake that.
Every day I'm Gangnam Style. Every day I'm Gangnam Style. Op, I'm Gangnam Style. Every day I'm Gangnam Style. Op, I'm Gangnam Style.
Anyway, that's the end of the tutorial battle. See what speaking slowly can do for you? Man, jeez. So yeah, that's pretty much, that kind of gives the gist of the whole game. Like I said before, what's cool about this game is that it pretty much follows the exact rules as the game in the, the real world. And stop dying, people. Jeez. Anyway, so theoretically, once you play the game, you'll be good at the game in real life. Sadly, I had no friends who wanted to play the trading card game with me since they weren't interested in playing the game, so yeah, I don't know what it just meant. Like seriously, everybody's having a dance battle. I mean, dance party. But yeah. So, like, as you saw before, Dr. Mason gave us a practice deck. So, now he's... Oh! You want to give us a combined deck, except we have to choose what we want. We can choose Charmander and Friends deck, which includes Fire Pokemon and others. There's the Squirtle and Friends deck, which includes Water Pokemon and others. And there's the Bulbasaur and Friends deck, which includes Grass Pokemon and others. Which one should I choose? I'm going to leave that up to you. Yep, you are going to vote in the comments. Yes, you are going to vote in the comments. I command you to. I mean, I want you to vote in the comments. I want you to vote for the deck you want me to use. Now, let me tell you this. I can always change the cards in this deck, because as you get more cards, you can, change your decks around, because that's how versatile they are. I mean, you always have to change, your cards around in your decks to make them more, more versatile in more cases, but yeah. And I'm going to have to say, chances are, basically these decks, the deck I have is going to be important in the beginning of the game, but as I go on, I'll probably make my own decks as well, but for now, I want you to choose which deck you want me to use. Charmander and Friends, Squirtle and Friends, or Bulbasaur and Friends. So yeah, vote in the comments below. Until then, see ya!